Hi everybody, welcome back to the third class in January's card class. I hope you're enjoying the cards so far. For the third card in today's set, I've done something a little bit different and I wanted to showcase a few more of those papers, and I've used just a couple of the little elements from the dies, because not only do you get the squares, you have the little floral cutouts as well, which are really handy. Okay, so to make a start, you are going to need a white card base, and this is cut from thick white card. And although mine is book fold, I have given you measurements for 10th fold. All of the cards in this card class are 10th fold. I had a little bit of feedback a little while ago, and the feedback was, if I'm doing straightforward cards, could I make them so that they're all the same orientation in fold? So I took that on board. Thank you so much. I do love getting feedback, and it's nice to know how I can improve my classes. So if there is anything you want to share, please don't be scared. And it's always nice to see what you guys think. So you've got a piece of basic white that you're just going to strengthen the layer of the feel of your card with that extra layer. This would look really nice embossed with an embossing folder if you wanted to. And then I've got a selection of pieces from the designer series pack. So I've got this first piece here, and this has got that lovely abstract dot pattern on one side, and on the other you've got this green. Now it's entirely up to you what papers you use and what patterns you use. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tear along, need to tear it the right way, tear along the bottom edge to get a really nice texture on that piece, like so. Attach that to your card front. And I'm putting that pretty much central, and that should be the width of your card as well. You've then got this piece here. On the back is the blue grid, blue and white grid, and this was one of the pieces we used on the first card. Again, I'm just going to give that a little tear across the bottom, and that's going to go about there. Tearing is a great way to add some simple texture to your card. Some people absolutely hate the idea of tearing paper, and that's totally fine. I find it quite addictive. Then you've got this strip in your kit that's been cut for you. You're going to add that to your card. Now I've just added mine so it sticks out a little bit there. I'm going to trim that little excess bit off, so we've got a straight, that's better. And this is going to get stuck down just so that it sits at the top of that piece that we have just cut. Okay, like so. Add a bit of glue there. Leave that to dry, and then once that's dry, we're going to snip off this edge piece. Okay, then we've got some layering to do. So you've got a lovely hexagon that's been cut for you. Would look really nice in the gold dot as well as the pink. I might actually use the gold dot. I think that's really nice. Yeah, let's use the gold dot. See, I made these cards, and even I want to switch it up a bit. It's good to be creative. So that's going to sit just so that the opposite points on the hexagon sit just below that green line. Okay, that's coming along well. And then we've got this die here. Now this die here comes from the Give It a Whirl dies, and I won't lie, when I cut it out I was most shocked that this is separate, but it works. It does work really well. I wanted a nice scallop circle, but that works quite nicely. So take your circle, and oh, that's black and we want navy, so I've just stamped that in black. I'm just going to get rid of that ink because because I don't want black, I want navy ink. These little grid paper pads are really handy to have. They fit the Stamparatus, but when you're not doing a lot of stamping, you don't always want a huge piece of grid paper, so I find them quite nice to have at the side of my desk. Let's bring our card back in, and we're going to add a bit of glue to the back of our circle, and we're going to stick that down about there. This is all done by eye, and there's no right and there's no wrong. We're just going to add a bit of glue around the edge of our scallop, and then that's going to sit just there. So I really like how you get a nice effect with these papers together. Oops, just moved it. Oh no. I'd like to try and move that up a little bit. Yeah, I can move that. That's good. Otherwise we're covering up quite a bit of that lovely gold paper. Like so. Okay, so then we can stick on our little bow of linen thread. I'm just tying, not tying too big a bow, but I want to have the strands quite long. Take yourself a glue dot again. Glue dots are really handy. If you haven't used them before, I would recommend adding them to your stash. It makes adding things like bows mess free and quite straightforward. Okay, so let's just trim off our tails a bit. That's quite nice. And then all we've got left to do is to add on a few little flowers and some sequins in the background. Oh, we've got to snip this off, haven't we? So just take your snips, run them along the edge of the card to get rid of that excess. And that's brought that together quite nicely. Now, I have die cut myself some flowers, but some of them appear to have gone walkabouts. My children were in my craft room earlier on today, and I'm pretty sure that's where they've gone walkies with. So I've got a couple left. I've just got one left here. So what you're going to do, you've got some excess white flowers in your kit. Just pop them on at sort of random across the background of your card. White on white is really quite popular at the moment, and it's quite elegant. It's just another nice way of using up these flowers in your kit. So now I'm just going to take a few little sequins and pop these sort of randomly across my card to bring it all together, like so. So there we have our finished card front. Inside this card I've left it quite plain as well, and I'm just going to stamp that other little sentiment in the bottom, again in navy ink, to keep the colour scheme running all the way throughout. So there's my lovely sentiment. You are so worth celebrating. What a lovely thing to say. You are so worth celebrating. There we have it. So there we have our third card all done. Nice and straightforward. A great way to use up scraps of your paper. Just found myself another flower. Great way to use up scraps of your DSPs. A design that would work with a wide selection of die cuts, punches and labels. And that's it, guys. So we've got one more card to do, and I will see you all soon for it. Bye for now.